Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Kavanaugh's Corner. Today on the show we're going to be talking about a movie that kind of has had a very interesting release, and I want to talk about it today because I watched it recently on Disney+, the streaming service from Disney. Ironically enough, I've got my Mickey Mouse shirt on today. This month has kind of unintentionally become like Disney Pixar month, so I'm just going to run with it. And I had to review this movie because I watched this movie with little to no expectations, and I was really blown away by it, so I wanted to talk about it today. And since it is now on Disney Plus and it's available to, millions of people that are on this, subscription service, I want to talk about it. Today, of course, I'm going to be talking about Onward. And this is a new animated film from Pixar and Disney. And I have to say, this is another very touching and extremely entertaining movie from these guys. First and foremost, I want to mention to you that this will be a review of the movie and also the video quality of the stream that I watched, because this was watchable with Dolby Vision HDR and Dolby Atmos on Disney streaming service. Now, even though I have heard things about their streaming service in the past, that, even though it says HDR, it might not actually be true HDR. I wanted to talk about what it looked like to me, and also the movie itself, and I will not be spoiling anything in the film, so you do not have to worry about that. So first and foremost, I wanted to talk about the animation of this film. The animation in this is spectacular. I mean, this is a really great looking movie. It's not ultra realistic by any means. It's not the look they were going for with this film. But it is kind of a mystical world. The movie is basically about, like, the world as if magic had actually been real. Like, the world that we live in happens, but magic, in, like, terms of, like, sword and sorcery type things, like wizards and stuff like that, were real. But as the world goes on, the magic starts to kind of take a back seat to technology and other things. It's a very interesting story. The movie takes place kind of in modern day, and it follows these two brothers who lost their dad at a young age, and they are given this gift on the younger brother's birthday. And Tom Holland plays the younger brother, and Chris Pratt plays the older brother, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus actually plays their mom, and they're all fantastic in this. But Tom Holland's character is given a gift on his birthday, and this gift brings about a lot of unexpected things, and it gives him a chance to see this person in their family that they didn't get a chance to see a lot of, and it gives them like a second chance, and it's really, really cool. And it's a nice thing. It's a nice story. It's a very touching story, but also it has a lot of entertainment value, a lot of laughs, and a lot of action as well. This movie had me rolling on the floor a few times in terms of comedy. It was really, really well done, and I love the fact that they really didn't pull any punches with the comedy. There are a few jokes in this movie that are, definitely not meant for kids. But the kids are going to love it as well as the parents, and I thought it was, extremely enjoyable throughout. The voice acting in this especially is fantastic. I mean, it's basically perfect. The best character, I think, in the film is actually Julia Louis-Dreyfus's part, and she's the mom. And she plays a great part in this movie, and I'm so glad they got her back. I think the last time she was in a Pixar movie was A Bug's Life, and it's been a while, but she is a great, great actress, and she does a really good job in this film as Tom Holland's and then Chris Pratt's mom. Again, very, very kind of underspoken part. She does a really good job with it, though. The character is really... all the characters in the movie are really well-rounded and takes you in the directions you don't expect. Tom Holland gives a very heartfelt performance as the younger brother Ian, and I can't say enough about Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is a riot in this movie. He is basically the comic relief throughout, and man, can he do that comic relief thing well. He's really good in this movie, and I enjoyed the hell out of everybody. I thought this was a really well-made movie. The story moves at a very fast pace. There were some great twists and turns along the way, especially in the third act. It didn't really go in a direction that I was expecting, and it kind of takes a lot of cues from some other very famous adventure films. If you've seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. But I liked it. All of it was really a lot of fun. It was very, very emotional. The ending killed me. I was in tears at the end. I'm not ashamed to say it. This movie really got to me. The ending was very, very heartfelt and touching, and it got to me emotionally big time. Cannot recommend this movie enough. And by the way, if you're a big fan of Dungeons and Dragons, if you play a lot of D&D, you're really going to like this movie. There are some really neat things that they do with the Dungeons and Dragons lore in this film that I was not expecting. And I haven't played it since I was a kid. It's been a long time since I've put my hands on a Dungeons and Dragons board, but man, is this movie going to be a big, big hit with fans of that game. You're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it. I really highly recommend this movie. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5. I loved it. The only real caveat I had with the film is the fact that there's really not a bad guy. The bad guy is like time and something that happens at the very end. But again, it's a small pet peeve for a very, very, very well-made movie. And as for the stream on Disney Plus, I'm going to talk about the video characteristics and the sound now of the stream on Disney Plus. The audio and video on this stream were perfect. I really think that Disney has done a great job with their streaming service. A lot of their movies look fantastic on here. Some of them more than others. The Star Wars movies were a little mez-a-mez. However, with this, because it's an all-digital film, it's all computer generated, it looked awesome. The colors in this blew me away. The HDR, whether you're watching it HDR10 or Dolby Vision, I watched it in Dolby Vision, it really, really blew me away. Bright, very, very vibrant spectrum of colors all throughout the film. It was mind-blowing. It really is one of the better animated films I've seen at home. In terms of the Pixar films, it's one of the best that I've seen in terms of colors. It really is really up there with the 4K Blu-rays I saw of Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. Those were spectacular. This is really something. This movie is also, of course, newer, so it has that going for it. But it is a fabulous looking film on that Disney Plus streaming service. The other thing, too, the Dolby Atmos track was actually pretty good. I didn't really have to crank it up very much. It was pretty well leveled. There are some pretty immersive audio moments in this movie. Again, I'm not going to give them away. There is a pretty great action sequence that does allow for a lot of the overheads to be used in a really good manner. I thought that was, spectacular on Disney's part. Overall, I'd have to say the streaming quality was great, and I will definitely pick this up on 4K Blu-ray when it comes out. This is a movie I really enjoyed, and I would definitely watch it again, even though it kind of got me in the feels a few times. I will say this is a very enjoyable film. It's a blast of a time when you're with your kids. If you're watching this with your kids, they're going to have a great time, but, get the Kleenex, because Pixar is at it again. They're going to get you. It's a tough one, but man, is it a great movie. You're going to laugh, you're going to cry, you're going to kiss $7.99 a month goodbye. But I gotta say, it is worth it. It's a great film to watch. I highly, highly recommend Onward on Disney Plus or any streaming service, really. Just buy it if you have the money. If you don't have Disney Plus and you want to own it, it's worth buying. It's a great, great film, and it looks absolutely spectacular in 4K with that Dolby Vision and that Dolby Atmos audio. Thank you so much again for coming back to Kavanaugh's Corner. That's all. And until next time, I wish you all the best. Please stay safe out there. I hope you and your families are good. And keep watching those movies. And until next time, take it easy.